Round one action of the VFL continued from the Frankston Park on a Saturday afternoon. A splendid Saturday afternoon, David Rees-Jones. Your old mob, the Dolphins, taking on their Bayside rivals, Sandringham. It was a match that promised a lot. These two sides finished just half a game apart last year. The Zebras 6.5 wins, the Dolphins 6 wins. We expected the Dolphins, who'd recruited well, to give a really good showing and a good performance, and they did. Particularly early, they led at quarter time after exploding out of the blocks by 16 points.
Yeah, look, they're kicking with the wind early and really did butcher the ball as they went forward. They controlled the ball through the midfield for the majority of the first half, really, but Sandringham were able to get some important goals into the wind, and that's really what won it for them in the end.
Yeah, that goal there from Terry Malera was one of those important goals. Frankston, you mentioned, butchered some opportunities. Jordan Pollard kicks this goal. It was their fourth of the match, their fourth of the opening quarter. But they kicked 6 behinds as well, Reece. And then in the second quarter, Sandy didn't make the same mistake. Trent Dennis-Lane here, Terry Malera, and Tom Lee in particular, who kicked 3 goals in the quarter. Bennett took a really good mark here, or sort of took a mark, Reece. But in that second quarter, Sandringham kicked 8 goals too.
Yeah. Exactly, to 4 goals 6, which and then Frankston in the third quarter come out and kicked 4 goals 6 again. The identical score, and 8 goals 16 kicking with the win really is costly, and it did cost them at the end of the game.
It did, it absolutely did. Both sides were able to put pressure on their opponents where and when it mattered, though. I mean, and even in the last quarter, Frankston were holding on desperately, and when we came into the last quarter, Frankston actually were doing all the attacking early. They held a very narrow advantage. They led by 5 points at the last change. Jack Billings kicked this goal actually a little bit earlier in the game, but when it came to the last quarter action, Frankston went behind, and then the Zebras kicked 6 goals and shut the game out.
Yep, that's it. And here's a young player, Shannon Taylor, who kid from the West who the Dolphins have picked up, and he's going to be a star in this competition. And I know there's a lot of AFL clubs looking at him. Talking to stars, though, young Billings, Jack Billings, number 3 draft pick last year. 4 goals in the last quarter, which is what, won the game for his team. He looked a little bit disinterested early in the game, but the longer the game went, and class just really showed, especially towards the end. And he's a class act, that kid, and it was a very good win for Sandringham, coming down here to Frankston and taking the points.
Tough condition. It was a warm day, so tough conditions for all the players, in particular in round one. But in the final analysis, it was a 20-point win to the Zebras. Frankston, 11-21, 87, were defeated by the Zebras, 17-5, 107. Promising signs for things to come for both teams as we go deeper into this VFL season, but you suspect that Frankston will rue the day they had 32 shots to 22 and lost the match to the Zebras.